All right, everyone. Brad here with Custom Offsets. Got another episode of Lifts and Levels. This is going to be a zone kit. This is the zone 4.5-inch kit for 2014 and up, or 2014 to 18. I guess we have to say now. GM 1500 trucks. Difference between this and the BDS kit, most of the parts are pretty similar, but zone kit uses spacers up front rather than new struts. There's a couple other variances. You know, same knuckles. Cross members are pretty much of the same design. They're just made in a little bit different way. They're not the high clearance cross members that BDS offers, and they're not as fancy looking. So we got our lower control arm cross members here with the integrated differential brace, which is a nice thing that BDS and Zone both do, where this will actually bolt on to the front differential, and once it's lowered down, it will actually tie in between the two cross members to brace everything up. Another key component is the front differential drops, which are these two pieces here to lower the front diff down and give you those nice CV axle angles to keep the everything kosher there. We got the skid plate, which is going to be to protect the front diff once that's lowered down, and then a cross brace too that also ties into the two cross members. Other stuff such as the bump drop extensions, which are going to be for the rear. And then in the rear, the lift is accomplished by blocks only. Zone doesn't offer leaf spring. The only option really is Fox shocks, which this customer went with. These are actually the Adventure Series Fox 2.0 shocks, not the aluminum Performance Series, which is what BDS offers. And actually, I believe right now these shocks have been a hard time to get them because they've been struggling with stocking issues on those. Another difference between this kit and the BDS kit is BDS gives you new outer tie rod ends, where Zone doesn't give you those, so you're actually gonna have to cut the factory tie rods to actually make that work properly here. These do include a CV axle spacer because these kits increase the front track width about 1.5 inches per side. All right, so as you can probably hear in the back, we got a lot of things going on today. That's pretty much the rundown of the Zone 4.5-inch kit for now. We're gonna go ahead and get it installed, and then we'll check back in once it's on the truck. Hello everyone, we got the Zone 4.5-inch kit installed on the truck here. Obviously the truck's up in the air. We just want to run through the components like we always do. Zone kit uses the upper strut spacer, unlike the BDS system, which uses a replacement strut. We still have the same. We got the new lift knuckles here, sway bar extensions, and then as well as there is a sway bar drop. And as you can see here, another key feature is the front differential drop cross members or drop brackets as well. Those are installed back there. Cody will have to get some B-roll of that for you, I'm sure. And then as well, you can see here is CV axle spacers. That's because this kit does increase the front track width, meaning that the front wheel mounting surface is actually going to be moved out about 1.5 inches per side. Drop cross members here for the lower control arms. And you can also see here as well the new differential brace that ties in between both cross members, which is a nice thing since you do have to cut the differential up to make it fit in the new location. Got our skid plates and then our tie-in brace as well. And another thing to mention is you do have to cut the tie rods on these. So these are cut here, factory tie rods, which is kind of nice, I guess, in a sense, because then you don't have to go buy specific tie rods for this lift kit. You can just buy the factory ones, but you do have to cut them. And then moving to the back, nothing special back here. We got our bump stop extensions for the rear, and then we got our new lift block and then new U-bolts as well. You do remove the factory block. These trucks have about 1.5 inch block in the rear. Those do get replaced by this new block. And then the customer did upgrade to the Fox Adventure Series shocks, which is an option on Zone kits. And as you can see here, we actually have wheel spacers in the back, and that's because to equal the increase in the front track width, we spaced the rears out. So this is 1.75 inch spacer in the rear. The reason we do 1.75 inch is because if you went with 1.5 inch, the factory studs would actually probably stick out past the mounting surface of the spacer here, and you actually have to trim those down. So in order to avoid that, we just run 1 3/4. You'll never notice it to the naked eye between the front and the back, so it just makes life a lot easier. And then we got a brake line relocation bracket on the top of the differential. You got to move around some e-brake lines with the factory brackets, and that's pretty much it. That's the Zone 4.5-inch kit. Time to go.